Hello. If you're here, it means you're interested in nature. Great, because today we're going to talk about flies. Yes, those very creatures. The ones we wave away with our hands, wrinkle our noses at, and consider nothing more than annoying insects. But wait, don't close the video just yet. Because today I want to show you something. A fly is not just a pest. It is a creature that has lived on Earth for more than 250 million years. It survived the dinosaurs, mass extinctions, ice ages, and it's still here today, buzzing around your ear. That alone deserves some respect. A fly has thousands of compound eye facets that detect movement in a way no human ever could. It can sense odors from kilometers away. It can fly in any direction, hover in midair, and change course in a fraction of a second. Engineers still study its wings to help design drones. And yes, it feeds on things that make us feel sick. But that's exactly why it is one of nature's most important cleanup crews. Without flies, the decomposition of organic matter would slow down so much that forests and fields would eventually choke beneath layers of dead material. Today, we'll break down the fly piece by piece. How it is built, how it lives, how it reproduces, and why nature would be very different without it. So get comfortable, this is going to be interesting. Let's start with the most important question: how is a fly actually built? The first thing that catches your attention is, of course, its eyes. Huge compound eyes that take up almost its entire head. Each eye is made up of thousands of tiny lenses, and each one sees its own small piece of the world. As a result, a fly can see almost 360 degrees around itself. That's why it's so difficult to sneak up on one. It notices movement even from the side or behind. But that's not all. A fly perceives the world about 6 times faster than a human does. To a fly, your hand swinging toward it moves almost like it's in slow motion. It has enough time to calculate the danger and escape. Now, let's talk about the wings. A fly has 2 wings, not 4 like most insects. The second pair has evolved into small club-shaped organs called halteres. They work like gyroscopes, helping the fly maintain balance in the air. That's why flies are such incredible flyers. They can hover in place, make sharp turns, fly backward, and even land on ceilings. Speaking of ceilings, a fly's legs have special pads covered with microscopic hairs. These pads secrete a sticky substance that allows the fly to walk on almost any surface: glass, ceilings, even wet metal. It's physics that seems almost like science fiction. And finally, the proboscis. A fly doesn't bite or chew its food. It dissolves it. It releases saliva containing digestive enzymes directly onto the food and then sucks up the resulting liquid. Fast, efficient, and yes, a little unpleasant to think about while eating lunch. Now let's talk about how a fly comes into the world. And honestly, it's one of the most impressive stories in the insect kingdom. It all begins with eggs. A female fly lays them by the hundreds, up to 150 eggs in a single batch. And she carefully chooses where to place them. Decaying organic matter, rotten meat, manure, none of this is random. It's a strategy. From the very first seconds of life, the larva needs food, and the fly makes sure it's available in advance. Just a few hours later, the eggs hatch into larvae, small white worms that we call maggots. And this is where nature's real miracle begins. The larva eats almost constantly. It grows so quickly that within a few days it can increase its size hundreds of times. Imagine waking up in the morning and weighing 200 times more by evening. That's roughly what life is like for a fly larva. Then comes the pupal stage. The larva stops eating, its outer shell hardens, and something incredible begins inside. Its body literally dissolves, turning into a mass of cells. From that mass, an entirely different creature is rebuilt, complete with wings, eyes, legs, and a proboscis. This process is called metamorphosis, and scientists still do not fully understand every detail of how it works. After a few days, the pupal case cracks open, and an adult fly emerges. It is fully formed from the very first second. It doesn't grow or change in size anymore. What hatches is the final version. And then it gets straight to work. An adult fly lives for only about a month. But during that month, it can mate, lay several batches of eggs, and give rise to hundreds of new lives. Nature doesn't waste time. And now we've reached the most interesting part, the relationship between flies and humans. And it's much deeper than it seems. Let's start with the unpleasant side. Flies really do spread diseases. They land on garbage, feces, and rotting food, and then they land on your sandwich. Millions of bacteria can live on the legs of a single fly. Cholera, typhoid, and dysentery have all historically been spread, in part, by flies. In the days before sewage systems and refrigeration, flies were a genuine threat. But here's the paradox, the same fly can also save lives. For centuries, fly larvae have been used in medicine to treat wounds. Even surgeons during the Napoleonic era noticed that soldiers whose wounds became infested with maggots often survived more frequently. The larvae consume only dead tissue, leaving healthy tissue untouched. Today, this is known as maggot therapy, and it is officially used in modern medicine to treat chronic and hard-to-heal wounds. Let's go further. Flies are pollinators. Yes, bees get most of the attention, but flies pollinate a huge number of plants, especially in colder regions where bees are scarce. In the Arctic and in high mountain environments, flies are often the primary pollinators. Flies also recycle organic matter. Without them, animal carcasses would decompose far more slowly. They are among the first organisms to arrive after an animal dies, helping to start the chain of decomposition that returns nutrients to the soil. This process is a fundamental part of healthy ecosystems. And here's another unexpected twist, science. The fruit fly, Drosophila melanogaster, became one of the most important organisms in 20th century biology. Scientists used it to study genetics, inheritance, and mutations. It helped us understand how genes work. Several major scientific breakthroughs, and even Nobel Prize-winning discoveries, were made possible through experiments with this tiny fly. So a fly is not just a pest that needs to be chased away. It is a creature that has lived alongside us for thousands of years. It annoys us, sometimes frightens us, and at the same time helps feed ecosystems, supports medicine, and contributes to our understanding of the very nature of life. Now let's talk about what hunts flies. And believe me, they have plenty of enemies. First on the list are spiders. They don't chase flies through the air, they simply wait. A spider's web is one of the most effective traps in nature, almost invisible, sticky, and surprisingly strong. A fly flies into it, fails to notice the threads, and that's it. The spider senses the vibrations within fractions of a second and rushes toward its prey. Flies make up a significant portion of the diet of many spiders living near humans. Birds are a different story. Swallows, swifts, and flycatchers hunt directly in the air at full speed. A swallow can catch a fly in mid-flight with sniper-like precision. It rarely misses, millions of years of evolution have perfected this skill. Some birds eat hundreds of flies every day, especially when feeding their chicks. Frogs and lizards use a different strategy, they are masters of ambush. They sit motionless for hours and wait. A fly lands nearby, and then comes a lightning-fast strike of the tongue. Everything happens faster than the human eye can blink. A frog's tongue is coated with a special saliva that works like living adhesive tape, the fly sticks to it and has no chance of escape. But perhaps the most unexpected enemy of the fly is a plant. Carnivorous plants such as the Venus flytrap, sundew, and butterwort have evolved to catch insects. The Venus flytrap snaps shut in a fraction of a second when a fly touches the sensitive trigger hairs inside its leaves. Sundews are covered with sticky droplets that sparkle in the sunlight like morning dew. A fly sees the shine, mistakes it for water, and becomes trapped forever. Nature has created a trap more elegant than any spider web. And finally, fungi. There are parasitic fungi that infect flies from the inside. One of the most famous is Entomophora muscae. It takes control of the fly's nervous system, forcing it to climb as high as possible, to the tip of a blade of grass or the top of a flower. Then it kills the fly and releases spores in all directions, infecting new victims. It sounds like science fiction, but it's real. Nature can be both ruthless and incredibly inventive. Flies are surrounded by enemies on all sides. And yet they are still here, buzzing, flying, and reproducing. Because over 250 million years, they have learned how to survive against almost every challenge nature can throw at them. And now let's talk about what makes a fly a true wonder of nature, its superpowers. Let's start with reaction speed. A fly can respond to a threat in about 30 milliseconds. That's roughly 20 times faster than a human blink. While your hand is only beginning to move, the fly has already calculated the trajectory of the threat, chosen an escape route, and pushed off from the surface. It doesn't flee in panic, it acts according to a precise plan in a span of time so short that we can barely comprehend it. Now, let's talk about G-forces. During a sharp maneuver, a fly can experience accelerations of up to 9 times the force of gravity. For comparison, a fighter pilot may lose consciousness at around 7 Gs. A fly handles it effortlessly and without consequences. Its tiny body is perfectly designed for extreme flight. Next, vision. We've already discussed compound eyes, but here's another remarkable fact: flies can see ultraviolet light. This is a part of the light spectrum completely invisible to the human eye. To a fly, the world looks entirely different. Flowers glow with special patterns we cannot see, and food is marked by visual and chemical signals that remain hidden from us. Now let's look at landing on a ceiling. We've already mentioned the sticky pads on a fly's feet. But the physics behind this maneuver is astonishing. A fly approaches the ceiling, flips upside down in a fraction of a second, and grabs the surface with its front legs. All of this happens at high speed and with incredible precision. Engineers at institutions such as Massachusetts Institute of Technology have studied similar flight and landing mechanics for years in an effort to improve robotic systems. And finally, endurance. A fly can remain airborne for hours with very little rest. Its wings beat up to 200 times per second. 200. The buzzing sound we hear is the result of those incredibly rapid wing beats. The flight muscles of a fly are among the most efficient in the animal kingdom. A tiny creature weighing only a few milligrams. Yet inside it are biological technologies that humanity is only beginning to understand, and is still trying to replicate. And so we've reached the end. And I want you to leave this video with one thought. A fly is not an enemy. It's not just an annoying insect that bothers us during the summer. It is a creature that is hundreds of millions of years older than we are. A creature that has survived nearly everything this planet has thrown at it. A creature that helps heal wounds, pollinates plants, recycles death into life, and flies in ways that engineers around the world still struggle to replicate. We are used to dividing nature into categories: beautiful and ugly, useful and harmful, things we like and things that annoy us. A butterfly is beautiful. A fly is disgusting. But nature doesn't make those distinctions. In nature, every creature has its place. Every creature has a role to play. And every creature deserves at least a little attention and respect. The next time a fly lands near you, don't rush to chase it away. Just take a moment to look. In front of you is a creature with thousands of lenses in its eyes, a reaction speed faster than conscious thought, and wings that beat 200 times every second. In front of you is one of the most successful products of evolution in the entire history of Earth. Thank you for watching until the end. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. There are many more amazing creatures ahead that we rarely stop to think about. See you next time.